Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and I'm very fascinated with sound recording. I'm always interested in various technologies. It's always neat to see. And I had friends in the early 1980s who acquired a CD player. Now, you have to understand the CD was something brand new and something we really didn't quite understand. We grew up with records. My first records were 78s, and then we went to 45s and 33s, and it was kind of cool. I was pretty happy with my records. But then came out the CD, and it was very expensive. And so we went to visit our friends. This was 1982, 83, and this fella worked for a company that was making all the CD stuff. And he said, I want to let you hear the CD. Now, there was a lot of people. There was a party going on. So there was like maybe 20 people there. A number of musicians, and we were having cocktails, and we were relaxing and having fun, as one would do in the 1980s. And finally, when it came time to have the CD player, we all sat down. And this fella gave us a little talk on what the CD was and showed it to us. And we were like going, wow, that's pretty cool. We had never seen one before. And so it was somewhat magical. And, I asked the question. I raised my hand and said, well, how do you play it? Is it with a needle? And he said, no, no, no. It's all red with like a laser, and it's all numerical. And I said, okay. I said, I don't understand it, but that's cool. And so what they did, they put on what a lot of us would recognize, Simon and Garfunkel. And so we sat down, he got the CD, put it in, hit the button. And this will only happen one time in your life if you've never experienced a CD, which is not going to happen now. We're all sitting there, and suddenly the music started. And everybody jumped, including myself. Now you'll sit there and say, jumped? Why? It was the music. You have to understand something. That we were of an age of records. And we knew when a song was coming because you would hear the reassuring crackle of the needle working into the beginning of the record before the song would play. With a CD, there was none of that, so we weren't ready for the music. And so the music started, and bam, we all jumped. Whoa! Now, the second song, we didn't. It was all over. It's just an interesting reaction to what happened there in the early 1980s when it came to the CD, because it was totally different than a record. You did not have a needle in a groove. You were reading it. And, of course, records went the way of the dodo, and the CD became everything. Interesting thing now, the LP, or vinyl that a lot of people are calling them, is kind of popular today with the younger set. I don't know how much longer that will last, because now we're doing digital, and you got chips and this, that, and everything else. I always like to mention I'm far better with records than I am with the chips and the digital and all that other stuff. It just is not my thing. I can explain history. I cannot explain electronics. It's just not my not my thing. But it was an interesting thing to remember. And you know something? I bet a lot of people who are around today of a certain age may have a story very much like that. that when the first time they heard a CD, they jumped because you had no warning. Well, that was the way it was in the early 1980s. Thank you.